There is now 50 blades in Xenoblade Chronicles 2, and with so many different personalities and gameplay options involved in all of them, everybody's going to have some favourites and least favourites. This list is based on everything, from how fun and good they are to play with, to how nice of a personality and what kind of character they are, and to what kind of interactions you get with them outside of gameplay. This is also just my opinion, so leave your favourite and least favourite blades in the comment section down below. But anyways, let's begin. At number 5, we have Gorg. To be honest, I'm not sure what this character's supposed to be. He's in the Great Axe class, but all of his skills and abilities lead more to being a tank, which the Battle Axe class is very poor at. His design looks very meh to me and it doesn't feel very overly creative, considering he's supposed to be a merfolk man. I just feel like they could have done a lot more with it. However, he's only at the bottom of the list, as his hobby of making those pastries adds quite a lot of depth to his character and his personality, but it's unfortunately not enough to offset all of his other negative points, in my opinion. And for number 5 favourite, we have Barrios. He's, in my opinion, by far the best Bitball character. I really like the uniqueness of his design, although in being able to remove his head is a little creepy. But these massive arms which just protrude from his body, and his whole belly being basically a massive mouth, is really cool, and it also really fits with the idea that he's this bottomless pit and this massive glutton. I don't get the idea though of his speed. Like, I get he should be fast in terms of the idea that he's rolling around really quickly, but like in his Blade Quest as an example, where he literally travels between two titans in a matter of seconds, seems a little excessive. But still, he's a super cool blade. And next up for number 4, we have Crusader. The only part redeemable about his design is the mask, because the rest of him just looks silly, and he doesn't really look like anything what he's based off, as he's supposed to be a wrestler, which is quite a disappointment, because Nintendo have made some good wrestler-based characters in the past before already. But the absolute worst thing about him is, why is his voice so stupid?
I am the champion, my friend!
I can get over the design and the other things, but why that voice? The only good thing about Crusader is he has arguably one of the best heart-to-heart interactions.
I hate you! Whoosh! I nearly wet myself. Let's maybe not talk to Crusader about physical strength ever again.
For favourite number 4, we have Herald. I adore Herald. She has an awesome design, is really good in battle, but the thing that's put her on this list is the amount of personality that she has through her skill tree and her side quest. It was a blast the first time that I got to progress through her skill tree and just see all these little bits of dialogue as she was slowly losing control, which led us into an amazing side quest. Definitely a fantastic blade. For number 3 on the least like list, we have Cora. I just don't get Cora. Her design's all over the place, and I get she's supposed to be like this punk rock character, but her personality, which I don't like, doesn't match up with that type of persona, and she just doesn't make much sense. She also just has a terrible side quest, where all she does is insult all the other characters, which gives her bonus points into my least favourite blades. For favourite number 3, we have Zenobia. This character is filled with fire. She was probably the strongest blade before all the DLC, and has just the awesome personality of wanting to fight literally everything and everyone, which is a characteristic that I love. She's also just super fun to play at any point within the game, and I actually personally really like her design. One thing that always comes to mind with Zenobia as well for me is that blades are supposed to be extensions of one's personality, but I've really liked to have meeting the character who first awakens Zenobia. For least favourite number 2, we have Corbin. For all the other blades on the least liked list, I've had things that I really don't like about them, but I've never hated them as a character. Corbin is, however, where this changes. Firstly, he should have been a wind element, end of, and I hate just how cocky his personality is, and what makes it all the more worse is that he is actually a very good blade in terms of combat. Don't get me wrong, I do like prideful characters, just look at Escanor from the Seven Deadly Sins. But this isn't pride, this is just cockiness, it's just arrogance. All because he's just a DLC blade who got some special treatment, so he'd sell. He's just a cocky blade who has no right being as good as he actually is. And for number 2 favourite, we have Wolfrick. What isn't to love about a giant beast with awesome power and great abilities, who's just a massive softie? From the very first day that I saw all of the blades, I've always thought Wolfrick looked cool. But it wasn't until I played his side quest and his heart-to-heart that I really got a vibe of what the character was about. And well, he's just amazing. And he has a chest beam, which is just awesome. Okay, so before we jump into number 1 least favourite, I just want to give a quick honourable mention to Sever. I really do like Sever. I like his inclusion in the story, I like how he's Malos's blade, I really like his design and his weapon, but the reason that he's got a part on this list is just because of how disappointing he is to actually play. His weapon should have easily have been the Chrome Katana instead of the Knuckle Claws, and he should have had a much more interesting skill tree, as at first glance 2 of his skills seem to do the same thing. They don't, but they're very unimaginative, and then a bonus to surprise attacks, which is basically useless. He's just a disappointing character who I really wish had been a lot better. But for least favourite number 1, we have Florin. I might hate Corbin as a blade, but I despise Florin with a passion. And no, it's not because I thought he was a girl. It's just the dialogue that he has with NPCs throughout his heart-to-hearts and just in the world and his side quest. How he's just a manipulative person, taking advantage of people confusing him for a girl. I don't remember exactly, but I know somewhere he was taking advantage of one of the NPCs. And I know it's just a game and it's all that, but as an actual character, I just hate him. And he will probably be the blade that I least like, even if he features in the next Xenoblade game. And the honourable mention for my favourite blade is Poppy Buster. To me, this is a DLC blade done right. It's unique, it has a good design, it's creative with the idea behind it, and he's really fun to play and is improved what could be arguably classed as the worst weapon class. The only thing that I dislike about Poppy Buster is the second small Poppy. She just feels out of place and doesn't feel like she's really necessary. But other than that, I like this blade too. But for my number 1 most favourite blade, it's Praxis. I just think she's super cute. She's got an amazing bubbly personality, which is presumably a play on the fact that she's a water blade who uses bubbles. I think her design's amazing, but most importantly, she feels like a story blade in terms of how much personality she has throughout her side quests and with the sister aspect of her with Theory. To me, when I was playing through the game, she felt like an actual blade that was in our party the entire time, fighting through every battle as we went. And her and Theory have so many nice moments with each other, and she has some amazing dialogue, and that's why she's my favourite blade. But that's all for this video, folks. Remember to leave your favourites and least favourites in the comment section down below. And I hope you've all enjoyed this video, and if you have done that, make sure to click that red button down below. And until next time guys, peace!